Two kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
Was poppin'. Welcome, Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And welcome to the YouTube Livey. The live show, depending on where and how you listen to this, because we could repurpose this in many ways. But Welcome to the live show. First and foremost, shout out to everybody who's going to watch this live. Shout out to everybody who's watching this on the replay. We appreciate you. Episode 71 dropped today. All right. We had the one and only Anthony O'Neill, and that was fire. Super fire. I think we went a little over an hour. I felt like we did. Yeah. I got to check it, right? We went over an hour, but if you heard the episode already, okay, put in the comments, put in the chat what you thought about it so we can know, so we can make some adjustments and feedback and all that great stuff, right? Yeah. Second, shout out to the people on fan base, okay? Listen, we got some subscribers, people giving us love. We appreciate it. We're going to get super busy on it. Right now, we're on once a week as far as giving you the clips from the after show, but we're about to rev that. I can't even talk. Rev that up. So shout out to y'all. Moose, how are you feeling?
Man, feeling good. I thought it was a fire episode, that last one. Probably, I'm going to go ahead and say top 10. Top 10
here you go.
Episode.
Here you go.
I just feel like we get better with time. We really get better with time. Our guests were incredible, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the more we rock, you got to rank the episodes a little higher. So I think top 10 best episode. I'm not gonna say anything crazy. I'm gonna just say top 10. Let that kind of sit right there.
Okay.
And see where it lands. Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
Yeah. But other than this, unfortunately, other than this Florida internet acting all funky, unfortunately, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm out here visiting the in-laws, but
living his best life. Internet, you know what I mean?
The very best. Yeah. Now, other than the internet, man, I feel good. I'm excited. I'm grateful. Got to take a break from the cold a little bit, and we head back tomorrow, right back at it, and keep things rolling.
Do me a favor, for those people who are watching live, hit the super chat so we can upgrade the in-laws Wi-Fi for the next time.
Do something low. Something because I was like. Funny,
Listen.
I was joking with my brother-in-law right before this. I was like, bro, I need a little Ethernet cable or something because this is it's the second time it's been hurting. He's like, hey, man, next time just submit those requests to the front desk a little earlier. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to let you know next time. I'm going to just come with my whole setup because, but no, I think it might hold up. We should be all right.
I want some Arkansas merch. Yo, shout out.
I'm not in Arkansas right now. I'm not in Arkansas. I'm in Florida right now. But you know what I'm saying? When I get back down to Arkansas.
Yo, shout out to all our Arkansas listeners and viewers. Every single time I see that now, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm saying it just like that.
That messed me up. That was my full Egyptian. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like super immigrant vibes, totally unaware of the situation and just like, yeah, Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Just Arkansas. That's what it is. Yeah, my bad. Nicky was like, did you just say Arkansas?
I was confused because this is the problem, right? This is the problem. Normally the things you say are like gold, right? So I don't question it, right? I never really question what you say. Right. And then you said that, and I was like,
time out. Time out.
I don't. Am I wrong? Yeah. You made me question myself. I was like, am I wrong? Like, did you just say that? Like, yeah. I was like, I really think it's. It's Arkansas,
I feel I
but
feel I feel good though. In let's just call it even 150, 150 episodes between the podcast and the lives.
yeah,
There's only really been two blunders. Two. I can count two. You count? I
yeah,
mean, Isaiah probably got like 25, but
yeah,
forget Isaiah with the coffee. But I could count two. I could count like two. Two that I were like, okay, that's questionable. Don't do that one again.
yeah.
Don't say that part again.
Shout out to
So
Winton in the building. That was one of them. Shout out to Winton.
oh my God. Okay, three. Yup, man, you reminded me of the name. Dang. I totally forgot about that one. Okay, three. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, it's three. It's three. That's when I learned. I said, hey, no more. Yeah, no more. I ain't even gonna say it because it's gonna give people too much of the. All right. What's good with you though? So, what's happening with you? Sheesh.
I am Gucci. I cannot complain. Can I complain? When I think about it, no, I really can't
Okay.
complain. I'm Gucci. Everything is like we had a conversation, and people, you can go into our little world real quick of stepping into the influencer role a little bit more and things like that and what that would look like. And I was like the typical Leo, Black and Puerto Rican self that I am. I wasn't for it for like 3 seconds. It was really like 3 seconds. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that long, right? I wasn't like, but my whole big thing was like, I want to start thinking of what something that could run without me, right? So I instantly thought that until certain events where people literally are like, hey, here's an opportunity for you to just create something for like one video of 60 seconds. Do this, something you already doing. Do like maybe a few of these and you get this opportunity. And I'm like, okay, all right, Moose, what do we have to do? I'm here. I'm sorry I ever even questioned it. Let
Right.
me jump into this content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call me. What does this mean? What does this entail? How do I go about this? Lead the way. I'm here. I am here. So one of the goals, and it's still February 8th, so I feel okay for not totally accomplishing it just yet because you're still in Florida, is getting clarity on what exactly that means as far as jumping more into that role. Because I just been doing me. You feel me? I just been doing me. And so we'll see. We'll see what that is. But that's been running through my mind. Like,
Yeah.
all right, what
Yeah.
does that really mean from a business status? Not to say that I haven't already fit in that role per se at all, but like more
100%.
from a business, let's get these checks, this, that, and the third. What does
Yeah.
that mean? So clarity for February of what Nicky is going to do has
Yeah,
been in
yeah.
my
Nah,
mind.
it's. I'll tell you what though, it's in line with our conversation for today. It's a great segue. I'll just use this as the transition point for the topic for today. It's perfect because a lot of times, and I love that when we're able to bring real life personal experience to the after show, or excuse me, to the live.
Hmm.
Like it's one thing to be able to curate. What's that word?
Curate, I think.
Curate.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
either or
curate.
for that one is fine.
Yeah. Okay. So curate or create content based on what people need. That's always something I love to do. But I think something about delivering content from a season of life that you're experiencing that just hits a little bit different.
Hmm.
So I've been talking about a huge project that personally been working on for 18 months. We're about 45 days out from release. In the next 30 days, we'll talk about it publicly. So within 30 days, we'll talk about it publicly in more detail and huge decisions being made. I'm talking about every decision cost tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and possibly millions of dollars in earning and revenue potential down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So between that and then between having a conversation, with the season of life that you're in and just the momentum and all the eyes that are on you right now, it's like, wait a second. One of the things that's probably doesn't get the attention or even energy that it deserves is how do you make business decisions?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody might have figured out how to make decisions in their personal life and it's gotten them to where they are, or they've started navigating adulthood to some extent. They're like, okay, cool. Like I have enough experience under my belt to make that happen. But when you step into the business world about how to make some of these decisions, it's a totally different ballgame. And unfortunately, not all the same rules apply. Like in your personal life, there might be some rules, some principles, some values that are just, you got to make them work.
All right.
In the business world, you might find yourself having to, I don't want to say necessarily bending those, but you're not in business by yourself. So you're looking for ways to make both of them coexist, meaning I want my values to coexist with your values because we're in business together. Right. So it's constantly thinking of like, yo, how do I create that win-win scenario? How do I set up opportunities and make business decisions in a way that it's mutual for both sides? So I've identified 3 things that I think are incredibly important when it comes to making a business decision. And the first one is perfect with, with what you're saying, which is before you make a decision, identify your end goal.
Right.
And sometimes that can be challenging in itself because, like even in this scenario right now, it's like, okay, I kind of have an idea around what I want. And it's like, okay, it falls under the title of influencer, but from an end goal standpoint, what is that? You feel me? Like how can I even arrive at an end goal if I'm not fully clear on what it is that it is I'm doing? So that's one of the first parts I wanted to start with, just this concept of identifying an end goal. So yeah, let's start there and just talking about in this very chapter. It's like, okay, I'm figuring that out to some extent. But it is important nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing is when it comes to me as the person, like me as that talent that I never thought that was going to happen. But it is what it is, right? The end goal isn't necessarily clear, but you're going to laugh about this one. Okay. So the one thing that I've made very clear was that I don't want to do service base, right? Made that very clear. However, with the people that I have, right, I had already came up with an end goal if that was to happen, which is the wildest thing, right? I've said the only way this is going to happen is if so-and-so and so-and-so has a team under them. And once that happens, then the whole goal is to make enough money to have this particular software. Already, like, the one part that I don't really care for and don't want to do, if it was to happen, I already have, this is what I want, right? Boom. And of course, with some of the talks that we have, I want a building. You feel me? I want a building, right?
Yeah.
Which will like coincide with a lot of other stuff, right? It's just a matter of figuring out a city. But, so for that part, that's taken care of. The end goal for me, I'm like, is the end goal to make sure I bring enough traffic into these next level situations that could possibly happen, right? So there's conversations between me and Moose that I won't speak on, but there's a situation we're talking about it when it comes to a new level of Nicky and Moose, right?
Yeah.
And then deeper than the brand, and then a supposedly agency and things like that. So is the end goal more just being the traffic, like being the person that brings the traffic to all these other things. The first person that comes in mind when you think of something like that is, and I'm not comparing, I promise you, Gary Vee. Where he is the talent, he is the personality, whoop-de-woo, but in all actuality, he's a businessman of all these other things, and because he's created such this character, right, it allows him to bring traffic, because if you like this person and you see what this person's done and the results and everything like that, you're going to want to work with them in some way, shape, or form. If you like sports, then you go to Vayner Sports. If you have a brand, then you'll go to this other thing and this other thing. And so it's like, is that the goal, the end goal, whatever it is, maybe seasonal goal? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, it's interesting, but I think the part of it that is a lesson nonetheless is that in trying to identify what the end goal is, it's okay if you don't know what the end goal is, but you know what you don't want.
Yeah.
You know, like that's equally as important. So you might get stuck up or fed up with yourself because you don't know what you want, but can you at least put down what you don't want?
Yeah.
Can you at least make a list of that? Because nonetheless, that still narrows your options to get closer to the things that you do want. Like I know for me, when I first started, there was a lot of hype around working with athletes. It was like the biggest, like, oh my God, I work with so-and-so and then the athlete and this. And it took me all but a week. And I was like, yo, I do not want to work with athletes. Like, I'm not sure who my avatar is per se, but it is not athletes,
right?
Or at least not the ones who I've worked with so far, because you're literally on their time. You know, like there are some things that come with it that it might look good from afar, but as you get close to it, it's funny. I was telling Robusy, there was a joke when we were younger. You say you're cute from far, but far from cute, and it's like, you know, just a running joke that we would say to people like, oh, from afar it looks great.
Yeah.
But as you get closer, it's like, I don't know that that's a situation that's necessarily fit for me. So sometimes just simply putting down what you don't want does narrow your choices to what you do want. What I think is unique about your circumstances, there's, of course, that dual side, like you said, or that double side. There's you, and then there is the team and the other things that you're a part of, which is very interesting. But I'm curious, what are you leaning towards from an end goal standpoint? What are you leaning towards, kind of like putting more energy toward? Is it like, I'm gonna run on this a little bit more, or what is more of your focus right now?
I think for me, I'm not leaning towards anything too much. I think what I'm always going to lean on is what makes me happy. So the content creation is always going to make me happy. It's making these, like, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's YouTube, whatever, if even these low-key little campaigns, that's fun to do. And then the teaching side with Deeper Than the Brand, you know, building the community up, that's always my vibe. Like, that's how I look at duplicating myself as far as making sure other brands, you know, are created. You know, to read in the comments, yo, because of you, this worked, or because of you, I'm at this place. Because of you, I made this amount of money, you know? So that, I lean towards that part than necessarily anything else. Can I create? Can I stay in my bubble of creation? That's maybe the, you know, the creator in me and things like that. Don't limit me. Just let me do what I do. And then helping people go into a central location that I can concentrate on them more and show them the ropes of how we did it. It's like that fulfills me at this moment. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, the service base still doesn't do it for me. It's actually hurts my feelings. Even on a one-on-one situation. I'd rather help group than a one-on-one situation. Because I'm like, like,
Yo, slightly off topic,
yeah.
but what did you like? What kind of conversation did you have to have with yourself right before you like put yourself out there, like running ads, consistently putting out content, like
Yeah.
just accepting the fact, like, yo, people respond to what I have to say, so I'm gonna do more of it. Was there like a mental dialogue, like, okay, bet I got to get myself ready for just the public? We're not trying to put numbers on it. It could be thousands, it could be hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever it is. But was that a conversation? Was it like, okay, I'm ready to go public, or was it just like, oh, I guess we here, like, that's what we doing now?
So I think it was a more of an acceptance than a convo. It's like I'm seeing the momentum and I can either take advantage of it or I could let it die, you know? So when certain people started reposting me, certain people started coming into the community, it's like, oh, this is working. You know what? I could lose their attention at any moment. Let me double up, you know? Let me make sure that there's no doubt that I am who I say I am. And it's a bigger purpose. If I believe it's a bigger purpose, then I have to stand on that it's a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
And so it's not about if I feel like it or not, this, that, and the third. It's like still trying to find that wave of how can let's put it this, how can I still keep my authentic ways, but understanding that more people are looking at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, I think it wasn't too much of a pep talk. It was more of like, it's just another level. You see what I'm saying? It's just another level. It's nothing new you're doing. I'm not doing anything new. If people really been paying attention, I'm not doing anything new. I may put an extra piece of content out here and there. There may be ads out now when I wasn't doing that before because I understand the algorithm and I understand how many times a person has to see something before coming through, right? I understand you have to reinvest in yourself. So I get that. Before, it was more, can you stay consistent? When you are such a behind the scenes person. Like people don't, like, I'm an extreme behind the scenes person. Like I'm not outside. Like I'm home, right?
Literally. Yeah.
Literally home.
Yeah.
Barely like come outside anymore, right? To the point where now I'm like, I can create 3 or 4 different spots in my crib to make content. That makes me happy. I don't have to move anywhere.
The
We'll make
couch
3.
vibes.
Right. Like, let me go downstairs, create something real quick. Let me go to the corner. That's what's next. Let me go to the corner, figure out what I'm going to do with that. Do I do a table where I'll show some tutorials on my phone with it going down? Like
the overhead board. Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
So like, and shout out to Jose. Jose, you're probably going to come over one day to make sure the lighting and all that great stuff. I just got to figure out what to buy, right? I think I did a pretty good job with the couch, right? So I think that at this moment is like, I understand I got to rev it up. Now, how do I find it? How do I make it enjoyable, right? How do I make it enjoyable? how do I make it profitable, right? And how do I stay true to who I am? You know, that's important, because it's like you're going to have way more eyes. You're going to have a lot more people who are going to have some feedback. You're going to have ups and downs. How are you going to take it? I'm going to take it the same way I've been. I'm not going to change anything up. But it's crazy to see the different opportunities when you do take it serious. Like you get mad, and somebody needs to hear this for sure, because you're going to get mad when you finally take something real serious or full time and realize the different opportunities are there, and it's been waiting for you to just take it serious.
Dang. And you thought the opportunities would come first, then you could take it serious.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Wow.
So it's like now it's more of like, okay, full-time content creator, influencer, YouTuber, boom, 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 whatever.
Podcaster.
Let me list it all. That's what it is. Everything else is secondary. You feel me? Like everything else is secondary. If it doesn't go in the category of where I'm creating content in some way, shape, or form, whether it's on these platforms, whether it's on podcasts or whatever, right? And if it doesn't have to do with helping other people build their own brand, it's secondary.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. Because when I put other things in front of that, I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
I got passed up a lot, you know. And now it's not even about the passing up of opportunities. It's more of I'm creating my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not waiting on different opportunities. It's now about, I have an option of saying yes or no. There is one, and we've said it, that is a good guap of money that I'm like, yes or no. I have this option. I don't have to, and it doesn't sway me yes or no because of the amount. It's because I know I can make that 3-4 times over. But because it's only because I'm taking it serious now. It's only because now it's like, okay, before, didn't have the website, this, that, and the third. Now we're strategizing on what exactly needs to be on it in order to truly represent what's happening, right? So before it was like, I could do a little flow page, a little landing page, keep it moving, whoop-de-woo, to now it's like, no, here you go. We got to come up with what is the top priorities, where are you trying to lead people, right? Mm-hmm. And then make it very clear. If they want to work with you, boom. If they just want to do the podcast part, boom. They want to submit this, boom. Like, but that wasn't a priority because I didn't take it serious.
Yeah. Wow. No, for real, Nick, that's a bar. That's a bar. Like that whole piece. Yeah. No, that part is good, man. The fact that I'm with you on that, and I think I've made that mistake in the past too, which is expecting the opportunities to come before you commit. Mm-hmm. It's like nope, it doesn't work that way. You got to commit first, and I like how you did it too, because you were testing along the way. It's not like you just woke up one day like, you know what, I'm gonna dive straight into the 10-foot pool and I'm gonna figure out how to swim when I get there. Like the swimming skills are gonna come to me when I jump in the pool. It's like, no, I was testing, like you were testing along the way and saw enough feedback to say, it only makes sense that if I put out 1 and I got 2, I put out 2 and I got 4, then I'm sure if I put out 3, I'm gonna get 6 because it's already happened with 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So like I do like how you did it, because it's like, yep, I committed. But before I committed, I tested. I saw a positive response. I made my adjustments. So when I got there, I don't got to stumble. I don't got to fumble. And you're right. The opportunities that become available at that level are totally different. So now talking opportunities, let's go to the second piece of that, kind of the second rule. And again, it's a chapter that we talked about, when we were texting about bringing it to the live discussion, which is the idea of, or what I like to think about, especially when it comes to contracts, any business decision, or any decision related to money in general, right? Is this a long-term commitment?
Right.
All right. I think figuring that part out before you commit, before you make the decision, will help you in save money, make money, reduce errors, expenses, the whole nine, just by simply being clear. Is this a long-term commitment, or do I have an opportunity to exit? Or is it something that I can switch up, or is it something that I'm locked into? Like if you remember back in the day, everyone was very particular about contracts. And I'm talking about from a service standpoint. Let's say you were signed up for a gym or you got a new phone. A big part of the conversation was, yo, how long is this contract? This is a 1-year contract versus a 2-year contract. Why? Because when you're locked in, you're committed to paying whatever you said on day one without knowing what it's going to look like on day 10 or month 10, right? So that approach is totally different and super important for you to identify that whenever you come across a situation or a dialogue that you know is long term, you might need to stop your brakes and be like, okay, hold up, let me reevaluate this, because it's a different conversation. So now, as it relates to this, from an opportunity standpoint, opportunities start to come up. There's money on the table to do certain things, and the decision becomes: do I give it here, or do I keep it in house? It's like, do I collaborate with a machine, or do I keep it in house? You know what I'm saying? Do I collaborate with a machine, or do I keep it in house? Yeah. Talk about that, man.
I hate you.
That's the conversation from today. I'm just giving the people what we was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving a little transparency.
Oh my God, I hate you. All right. So shout out that this is only on YouTube.
Hey, we're talking about this today. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a couple.
Yeah.
So
So here's the thing, right? You have to be honest with yourself, right? I think we've talked about it. You could be loyal to a fault, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to weigh out what is going to really get you to new levels, right? And pairing up with a machine or keeping it in-house is one of those situations where it's like, do I commit and partner up and do this, or do I stay true to the true ownership and to those who's been rocking? Right?
Yeah.
Now, though I'm super, super huge on the ownership thing, super huge on it, right? You have to weigh out the pros and cons about a machine. You have to really, and this is why, and it's very fitting that I'm wearing him right now. It's very wise to start it already. Whether you want to be on a network, start your own network. Understand how to distribute. Understand the different admin sides. Understand the systems wise. Understand the kissing hands and shaking hands and kissing babies situations, right? Understand that part and make yourself valuable so that when the machine does come around, it's not a, let me do this for you. It's more of a, I could do this myself. Let's partner up because I need the extra looks. So really funny because I was rewatching the Nipsey interview that he did with Big Boy, and they were speaking about, yo, you've done so well, and now you're with Atlantic, and it's not like you're saying I'm signed to Atlantic. You're saying I partnered with Atlantic. He's like, yeah, because we've done this ourselves. Like, we've done the marketing, we've done the groundwork, we've done, distributing it to all DSPs and everything like that. We've done all that. So we have the West Coast on lock. It's a matter of, I need the East Coast. It's a matter of, I need global. It's a matter of getting in different stores, different interviews, different platforms that I haven't shaked hands and kissed babies with. Like, I haven't done that. You guys have. So from a relationship standpoint, from a reach standpoint, this makes sense. So I don't need this part from you, but I need this part. So how can we make this work together? So I think, like, when it definitely comes to us, it's like we've done this already. There's nothing that a person, and there's still more work to be done, but there's nothing that a machine can come and be like, I could take care of all of this. Just sign right here. Right? Like, and shout out to the podcast network that we're on right now, because we still do everything on our own. Own it, do the distribution, all that great stuff, because we understand we rock with you, but we own this and we do this. But because of this is the reach. But 90% of the reach is us, right?
Yeah.
So it's what can you bring to the table? And I've learned that I'm never going to a table with just happiness of the opportunity.
Oh shoot! I thought you said you never go to a table empty-handed. I was about to slam this remote. That was like, yo, that's fire. But yeah, I'm with you on that too.
That too.
That's good. That's good.
That too. But I mean, because I've done it. I've done it a few times and hate it. And I look back at it, I'm like, what? It's like, oh, I'm in the room. That's all I needed. I'll do whatever and I'll figure it out. And then I realize I'm extremely good at this.
Right. Yeah.
Then you evaluate, then you're like, it's like a Scottie Pippen situation.
Yeah.
The lowest paid.
Dang.
Do you know what I did?
Right.
What we talking about? Like,
Right.
you're not gonna adjust
totally.
this? You're not gonna adjust this now? Well, then let me sit out. Let me sit out real quick. But you can't fix it in the middle. That's the problem. You think, yo, and bringing it back to even the episode where we're talking about Big Sean. Give me the opportunity, I could get myself out of anything. You get screwed each time.
Yeah. No, everything
You can't
costs.
fix it. Yeah, you can't fix it in the middle. You're going to take an L each time. So you better place yourself in the beginning the proper way. And the only way you're going to learn that is you take some hits in the beginning. I can tell you, Moose could tell you this, all this great stuff. But you got to come to the table proper. Because if you're there for the opportunity and the exposure and all this great stuff and just ready to learn and right? It cannot be fixed year 2. It cannot be fixed year 3, 4, 5. There's still percentage. There's still your time that you can't get back. And there's still situations that will still not be fair and give you the full value. Come through with the full value. Come through with your own machine. And then Let's talk.
Yo, Nicky is you in rare form tonight.
I
You in
bet.
rare form tonight. Yeah.
I bet.
No, this is good. Don't say my bad here. Sheesh. Yeah. No, that's major. That's major. You know what came to my mind as I'm like listening to you speak? Immediately I thought anybody who's been in business for less than 5 years, I can almost guarantee that you didn't utilize the trial and error strategy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, just try and fix it. Like, try. If it doesn't work, adjust. Like, there really is so much that you can learn, develop, and grow without having to go to a machine
Yeah.
that will take something from you. Like, we're not against working with a quote unquote machine, somebody who's established, who's going to get the fair share, the split, or whatever it is. In most cases, it can be a favorable deal, especially if done right. But I'm saying if you're going to them for something, like you said, Nikki, if you're going to them for something that you could do on your own and you're paying for that, then you just took, it's like you taking money out of your own pocket and giving it to someone and saying, okay, let's go ahead and split that back again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, what'd you earn? You didn't get nothing from the deal. You took money out of your pocket to split it back with no contributions from the other half because it's something that you can do. So yeah, for sure, I want to double back on that. Like, yo, if you've been in business for less than 5 years, you probably need to really use your trial and error as a strategy. Like, I'm good from learning from people and expediting your learning and improving your workflow. I'm huge on that. I think that's super important. But if you have to trade equity, you're better off going with trial and error. Huge
These are
advantage,
facts.
right?
These are facts.
Yeah, huge advantage. The other piece of it, I think, when I think about it too, is I and for me, it's a little bit unique on this second one because I take my skill set and some of my likes and dislikes into consideration. So for me, I'm very particular about how I like to sell. Like how I like to market or solicit people for business or for their money. So whenever I'm choosing between a partnership or a business deal, I want to make sure that I'm not going to be the only salesperson. Like, I'm not going to be the only one that still has to sell. So if I collaborate with you, and for the most part, I'm still having to do a majority of the selling, then I feel like I got a little bit less than, it might not be a good deal. But if we're working together and you're helping me sell, there's a level of energy and dedication that's coming back to what we're doing. Then I'm like, okay, no, it might be worth it in that case, because what one person can sell on their own versus what two or more can do together is obviously way more in terms of numbers. So for me, I evaluate it from a number standpoint, and I look at, okay, do you have that as a skill set? Number one, is that something that you're willing to do? And that might be even had through a conversation. Like, are you willing to do that on our behalf? And we can power your back with the resources, the experience, and even the reach that we have. But it makes no sense for us to come together and I still have to go out and sell and then
Right.
share my half of the pie with you. Now, again, it's considered, or it's considerable, and may vary based on the skill sets of you and the individual that you're partnering with. But I definitely think when it comes to those big collabs, that's a big part of it. Now, there's a piece, of course, and we're having, and I think you covered one side of it. The other side I wanted you to cover is the most recent agreement that was locked in, and it's like, oh, the turnaround is kind of quick, and we've been using the example of movies, right?
Yeah.
It's like there are certain deals that you go into where they will say, okay, I'll sell my movie to the network, but they can only stream it for X amount of time.
Right.
And that allows me to use my IP, which in
Mm-hmm.
the digital world is money. It's still something incredibly important. I know that although I won't be able to sell that IP elsewhere, it expires at a certain time. So I can pull it back. I can choose to sell it directly to the market myself. I can choose to resell it somewhere else, but I don't want to give a key component of my IP to someone and never get it back,
Right.
because that's a crazy piece. Talk about your experience as you're navigating that now, because we're literally having that discussion. It's like, okay, there are some requirements or some I'll use the word loosely, demands being made around, hey, I want this and I want it by this time.
Yeah.
Cool. But it don't seem like there's some conversation around the end line or the expiration date for how much you hold on, or someone would hold on to that IP, which would drive down even the biggest amount. That $100,000 might seem great, but if they hold one of your most important IPs,
Yeah.
for anyone listening, for Nicky, for myself, if you're giving away one of your most important, intellectual properties or digital products, or however you want to look at it, if you're giving away one of the most fundamental elements and pieces to your business, and you're giving that to somebody, then it's like, whatever that number may be, it may not be valid, 10, 15 years from now. It's like that 100 grand was good for today, for a year. But down the line, I might have to scratch my head on that a little bit. Like, come on, bring this
Yeah,
back.
no, that's really where I'm at right now. Like it's and you may hear my dog, so we may have to go in a little bit. But but understanding that there's going to be people who are going to want you on their platform, right? For in my situation, the like coursework, right? So it's now going to, is the money, hold on, Moose, talk for a little bit,
Okay.
because this one,
Hey,
of course.
Yeah. Nah, take care of it. Y'all know Spazzy. We gotta show love to Spazzy. We gotta show love to Spazzy. Y'all been quiet in the chats today though, so go ahead and talk to me real quick when they can come back, because I've been seeing a little quiet. And please, anyone checking in from a state that I can't pronunciate, don't tell me where you're checking in from. Use something that I can't pronunciate or reference easily. You know what I'm saying? Y'all embarrass me. Shout out to our brother Mike the other day with I ain't even gonna say it or I'll mess it up. But yeah, man, check in real quick. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. We'll give a couple minutes till Nick's come back and continue this conversation. Where y'all wrapping in from? Talk to me. Okay. Let's see. Ronald said, if you go with your hands out, expect to get them slapped every time. Okay, I like that, Ronald. If you go with your hands out, expect to get them slapped every time. Shoot. Okay, Virginia. All right. Hey, shout out to Virginia. There we go. I'm good with Virginia. Don't say no states I can't pronunciate, so I don't embarrass myself like last time.
All right,
AZ.
here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
go
go.
for it, man. Go for
All
it.
right, so like I was saying, I'm looking at, and whatever your IP is, right? Whatever your situation is. For me, it's just different courses people want, because clearly I teach on branding and content and all this great stuff. Now, different opportunities are coming through, and it's going more towards, do I keep this as an exclusive situation for my platform, or do I take this bread and it's on their platform, so it's now in different audiences, but am I selling myself short off of that? See what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm more like, is this amount of money worth it? Now, the younger Nicky, the one who didn't know, right? It's like, what? For that? And the funny thing is, me and Moose had the conversation. He's like, 5 to 7 videos, right? I said, he gave me the list. It was like 3 sections. I gave it. I said, 3 videos. Fair. I said, yes. Right? Because I thought you were going to do the breakdown. You gave me the 3 sections. I said, yes, I'm going to rock it with the 3. Boom, right? Yeah, that looks great. That's awesome, right? So it's like,
Wow.
right.
Wow.
But
good with the short piece. Yeah.
right, but then I'm not going to give out the amount as far as there was another situation, like I said, that paid for 60 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
which makes you question this other one.
Right.
Because if you're saying, let's say that one is 15, 20 minutes long, 30 minutes, let's go that far. 3 to 5 to 7 times.
Come on. Come on.
That don't
Like
make sense no
I'm
more.
averaging. Like, yo,
Right,
I'm
right,
averaging
right.
about $1,000 for 60 seconds. So if you do the math, 1,000
Right,
times 30 times 5.
right, right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, even on, yo, shout out to my girl Chris, right? She's like a beauty influencer, right? And one of the opportunities I showed her the contract that I showed you, right? And people, the inside, it'll make sense. Follow me with this, even though you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, Nikki. Don't worry, follow it, right? Was like, okay, that's cute. It's cute, boo. I got it. Congratulations. You could have made way more. Off of the 60 seconds? What do you mean? Off of the 60? Oh, no, they own it. That's worth more.
Forever.
Right,
Forever.
right. That's worth more. So give it to me next time. Right? We'll take care of that. This is cool. This is a cute start. I know this is not your normal vibe. But if they own it, no, it's worth more. So understand. So here's the lesson, people. Here's the lesson. Your 60 seconds is worth a lot. First off, okay. Anything more than 60 seconds is worth a whole lot more.
A whole
Okay,
lot more.
a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So whatever you thought your hour was, put it to your 60 seconds. However much you thought you should make in an hour for what you do, that's what you should make in 60 seconds. Bare minimum.
Yo, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. And times that by 60 for what you should make in an hour. Come on. Wow.
You feel me?
That's what they're paying for. That's what they're paying for now. Now you're so right, though, because there is nothing worse than using an outdated mindset or way of doing business in a new economy or a new era. They gonna get you every time. They gonna get you every time. Because they have figured out how to make it make sense for them. You think somebody willing to pay you as much as whatever? Let's just use a number: $5,000 for a 60-second video. You don't think that in their mind they know that that's a sizable amount to you? Like, you don't think that they know that's a good chunk of money. Like, I could pay way less for this.
Yep.
But I know I'm going to make X amount of dollars from it. I know the potential I can make from it. So just so nobody gets lost in translation, we're really hitting on this point of those things that you would do just off of the love, just off of the opportunity, just off of the collaboration or the connection. But it gives somebody access to something that you produce for a long period of time or for a forever type situation. You can't just hand that over without thinking about what kind of decision am I making here as a business. Even for you as a personal brand, whatever that you may be doing, if it switches over into a business conversation and you're about to enter a lifetime contract,
Yeah.
that's why we hear some obnoxious numbers when it comes to the only time you'll ever hear a contract has an undisclosed amount. It's when it's a lifetime contract. LeBron's lifetime contract with Nike is an undisclosed amount, and people are saying it's at least $1 billion, right? Because it's like, yo, it's so. I'm asking you to commit to something forever,
Yeah.
forever, and it rarely happens. So the decision will come across your way a lot. But you as a business owner or as a brand, you need to really be mindful of, yo, who am I willing to commit forever to? That's a big conversation. That's a big conversation.
Just saying. Just saying.
Big conversation.
Just saying. That's all I want. Everybody like the bar. Where is it?
Yeah.
But you thought you should make in an hour. That's what you should make in 60 seconds. It's true.
Come on.
Look, when I
That's
tell you,
crazy.
like, I wish I could tell you these amounts, but I can't, right? For 30, if I would have done it, I did it 60 seconds because I actually did it a little bit, like 45, right? But the fact that I can hand in a 30-second video for something that pays mortgage.
Right.
Right. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What? Like,
you think about the number of hours that somebody got to work to produce that. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's yeah. So I promise you, people, we're in it. You hear it a lot. We're in a new age where your hourly wage is obsolete. That's not.
That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. That might have been like the best thing that you've delivered in Nicky and Mo's history. I don't know. That was amazing. I'm in love. Oh snap! That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, no. I'm done. I got nothing. I'm done. There's nothing.
All right, people. Look, do me a favor. Once again, we're sorry about the technical difficulties. But hey, he got to travel. I got to travel once in a while. We appreciate you for watching. 2, definitely share the podcast. Listen to the podcast. Go on Fanbase. Subscribe over there. Go subscribe to this YouTube channel. Do whatever you need to do. We're on TikTok now. Let me tell you about that process. Good God. Okay? That was trash. We're starting from 0 again. Okay? We're starting from 0. I don't even really want to talk about it, but we're on TikTok. Go holler at us over there. But right after this, we have a clip from this week's podcast. Literally is the biggest mistakes that personal brands make with Anthony O'Neill. It's a vibe. It's really good 9 minutes. All I need is about 9 minutes of your life extra, okay? Because you already chilled with us over here. So that's premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern, literally right after this live. Moose, how are you? You good? You all right?
No, this was I'm telling you, probably one of the best conversations we've had on a live show.
So one of the best episodes and one of the best lives.
It's just top 10. I don't know. It's a top 10 kind of week.
It's a top 10 combo.
It's a top 10 kind of week. I don't know. We top 10 out here. This is crazy. Yeah.
So look,
Fire.
Stay right here. It's going to redirect you. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just stay right here. We're gone. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, the full video comes out. We always appreciate you. We appreciate everybody who's on live, who's watching this replay. We love you. Continue to share. And that's it. You know what we're going to say? Holla.